Yo guys, today I'm going to be looking at a film I watched on Netflix last night. It's called Calibre. Some of my American brethren call it Calibre. It was really, really good. Like, it's very rare that I find like a good film on Netflix. Like, I spend like hours, I'm talking hours, like scrolling through just looking for a good Netflix film. This was a Netflix original, I believe. So I found it on a hidden gem section. Obviously, I went through action, I went through thriller all night trying to find something. And then I eventually found this and I thought it was superb. Yeah, I'm going to start off, and I think the scenery was really good. As someone that's from Scottish heritage and someone that's from the north of the UK, I felt like it was very well done. It got the grittiness, it got like the motorways, it got all the beautiful scenery, all the mountains. I thought they did it really well. The filming was really well done, and like the cinematography was really well, was really good. And yeah, like I think what they captured really well was the sense of like Scottish community. And like I said, as someone as Scottish heritage, like you watch a lot of these films like Deliverance, you watch other films like that, and you look at these like communities, they're always kind of viewed as like sort of like backwards or hillbilly almost, or like kind of like not forward thinking. But like I felt like with the community in this, I'm not going to give away too much because I don't want to like give you any spoilers, but I felt like the community was very realistic. Like, trust me, I know, because like I've been to weddings in Scotland, in like Shetland, where there's been like weddings in living rooms and things like that, and it's very, very like everyone knows each other, and everyone kind of does band together when something bad happens, and something bad happens in the film. You will see when you watch it something very tragic, and I don't necessarily think the supposed bad guys in this are actually bad people. I just think the circumstances, what happens, makes them into bad people. So I've not talked about the two main characters. The two main characters are called Marcus and Vaughn, and they are best friends, and I think they're best friends from a long time, as you can tell, but they're kind of reconnected on like a lad's holiday. And yeah, like I felt like their relationship was very good, the acting was very good, it was very believable. Like the scene where they're like driving towards the destination, the hotel, I thought that was really good. Like there was a good like banter, there was good bonding. As a British guy, that I know what that's like. It's really kind of like laddie laddie, and yeah, I think it was really good. Like the village itself, where it's set, it was very. I think it was like northern Scotland. I might be wrong, but like that's what Scotland's like. It's very rural. It captured that kind of like grittiness, and yeah, and as the film progresses, it just gets a lot darker and things start to happen, and it kind of like tests the characters, and it's like it makes you feel like, what would I do in this situation? Would I do the same thing? Would I act this certain way? Would I do the same choices? Would I do this? What would I do? Because it's like it's tragic what happens, and it's not intentional as well. That's what I'm going to say. I'm not going to give away too much of what happens. But yeah, I thought it was very well done. It was very like, if you watch like old British films, it reminded me of like Get Carter, Life on Mars. It kind of had that kind of like British sort of gritty kind of like, you know, gritty Northern BAFTA. It was really kind of like, it was great, and it was great to see some really good performances in there from actors as well. Like actresses as well. I thought the actresses were really good. The females were really good in it as well. And yeah, I thought there was a scene towards the beginning where this is like before the tragedy happens, where they're having like drinks in this pub and like this all banter, and that felt very real. And yeah, there was another scene where like there's a guy, like he's kicking off at the two main characters, and that's very believable, because like there can be tension in like pubs as well, and there can be like this kind of like I said, this lad kind of culture. And it was, I wouldn't say it was lad culture, obviously. In this scene, he's annoyed for a certain reason. I'm not going to tell you why, but he's annoyed for a certain reason. It's like justified, and it's like, yeah, like I was saying, Scottish communities are very good at banding together when bad things happen. And yeah, I think the one thing that let it down was there was a scene where like I said, I'm not going to give away too much because I want you to watch it and get your own kind of like thoughts on it. But there was a scene where like there was a chase scene, and one of the characters kind of gets like caught and kind of brought back, and it's like, what I thought was really kind of a weird, like they kind of like cut straight to this next bit, so like you didn't see what happened. It was kind of like, oh, but I suppose like as well, like that's kind of like it leaves it to interpretation. It gets your mind going a little bit, thinking, oh, what happened? How did he, get to this next part? He kind of gets caught, and it's like, But I thought, apart from that, like the tension was spot on. Like you watch a lot of films and you feel like you know what's gonna happen, but I watched this and I was like, rah, like I don't know what's gonna happen. Like what's gonna happen next? Like I had no idea. You know, it was constantly like you know when you watch a film and you think like what you kind of you plan out the outcome in your head, you think what's going to happen, and I kind of had like a few kind of things in my head. I was like, oh, this is going to happen, maybe one of them will, you know, and I was like, it's not the way I expected it to go, and the ending's incredibly dark, and I knew it wasn't going to be a happy ending just looking at the trailer. Like I watched the trailer, I was like, ooh, you know, this is kind of one of those gritty British films, and that's what I thought was great. And for a Netflix original, it's incredible. And there's some really good Netflix originals. There's some that I've watched and I've been like, it's all right. Like it kind of had something missing, but I genuinely thought this was like excellent, and it is very like that. I think people forget that Scotland is very rural, and there is parts where like there's a part where they talk about police, and what I find was really cool is like how they said like not the local police, like police, because like in a lot of areas in Scotland, as I know from growing up there as a kid, and you know, like I said, I've got relatives there. There is situations where like there's only one policeman for like 100 miles, or one policeman for like that little village or town or whatever. You know, it gets like that, and that's the kind of reality. And when something bad happens, sorry, that shows that like the community really does have to band together when something bad happens. And yeah, like I thought the soundtrack was really good. Like, you know, it was really well done. I'd say it was a really good film. But yeah, there you have it. That's my review on Calibre, or Calibre as some of my American friends call it. So big up for watching, guys. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you check out my other videos and links in the bottom. And if you want to support me in a more personal way and really like what I do and want me to do more great videos in better quality, make sure you follow me on Patreon and sign up on there. You get everything early, you get early access to all my videos in advance, 2 weeks in advance, so you get everything before everyone else. Thank you for watching.